Get everything in a line here perfectly. Right where it needs to be. Very good, sir. Very good. I think I'll put this here. Okay. What is going on, everybody? How is it going? Hope you're doing great. Gray bars. Okay, we'll get rid of those gray bars. Maybe just a little. Okay, Billy, Michael, Nick, Debbie. Hey guys, Nick, thank you for the digit right off the bat. Yeah. We stayed up late last night, did a 2.5 hour show, something like that. It was fun. So I had a nice late start today. Rogi hasn't even gone outside. He came out here and just laid down. Really appreciate it. Arrived today, and your place is gorgeous. Thanks for posting that. You're welcome, hippie chick. Yeah, I got a nice house. Let's share this up. Michael Goldsmith, that is some great recommendationing there. Recommendationing. I made up my own word. Well, today we're going to be talking about disinformation. And, man, this one is a freaking doozy. But, you know, there's so much disinformation out there. As simple as someone just referring to cannabis as weed is disinformation. You know, I saw somebody on Twitter. They said something cool about cannabis. I checked their profile. The first thing they said was weed something. And I was immediately turned off by that. But, you know, people don't realize that they're a fucking liar when they call cannabis weed. You are a spreader of disinformation when you call cannabis weed. I know, you think that's the right name for it. That's what you've been told. You know, kids were taught when they were younger, my parents' age, when they were kids, they were taught that black people should be slaves. Turns out they were wrong about that too. Yeah, society gets a lot of shit wrong. And you need to rise above it. You know, you need to rise above the lie. And when you hear somebody referring to cannabis as weed, you need to call them a liar. Say, well, you're a liar. You don't just say, oh, you shouldn't call it weed. Say, hey, you're lying. Now you're a fucking liar. What do you mean I'm a liar? It's weed, isn't it? No, weed means useless. You're talking about it and sounds like there's a use for it. You're a fucking liar. That simple. Now I know that's offensive and it's a turnoff and people won't respond to that. But I don't care. It's factual. So I don't give a fuck. I'm right and you're wrong. Suck it. I don't give a fuck. Whether you like my tact, you don't like the fact that I'm harsh or that I'm rough around the edges or that my words ring true. Whatever it is about what I say that you don't like, I don't give a fuck. These are facts. When you refer to cannabis as weed, you are spreading disinformation. You want it in real terms? You're a fucking liar. Okay? That's what you are. Now, yeah, saying spreading disinformation is nicer, but they mean the exact same thing. They both mean that you are a fucking liar. And the word fucking should always precede the word liar. Yes, you're a fucking liar. Unless you're lying to me and telling me how great I look this morning. And then you're just a liar. Hey, Miss Sarah. With your big sunglasses. Okay, so my cat wants to go outside. This is just going to take a second. And it's beautiful outside. I think I'll leave the door open. Oh, fucking 61 degrees outside. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. What a beautiful, beautiful day. We're just going to do a couple of adjustments here. Here we go. Okay. OCD satisfied. It's Sarah from Facebook. It's Sarah from Facebook. Sarah, do you know how many Sarahs I know from Facebook? Are you a Sarah that I know from in person, Sarah? Have we met? I'm sorry, I just can't tell. All I see are big black sunglasses. Sarah Williams. From Orlando, Sarah? Harles doesn't come on camera? Fuck Harles. Fucking cats. No, not from Orlando. You're a different one, I think. Right? I don't recognize that name. You come on my page almost every day? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with you talking to me in the live chat. I don't really Facebook. I just post videos to Facebook, but I don't really spend time on Facebook interacting or anything like that. But if you come in my chat and my live stream while I'm live, yeah, I'll definitely get to know you, Sarah. Sarah Williams. Okay, so you like the show. Great. Friend of the show, Josh Dye. What is my YouTube page? I'm tired of Facebook shit. It's Nay's Garden, and there's 6 of them that I broadcast to. Well, 5 right now. I'm broadcasting to 5 YouTube channels. They're all called Nay's Garden, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but most of them are called Nay's Garden. You'll be able to find my main channel is the most important one. That's the one that shows me wearing all black. It's blowing smoke rings, right? I might not be wearing all black, but I'm blowing smoke rings. But the thing is, it's got 25,600 subscribers. You definitely make sure that you are please subscribe to that channel. They are deleting people from that channel every day. I say this all the time, and everybody knows it. It's not a secret. I really need you guys to keep checking back there to make sure that you have, if you've been removed, that you will put yourself back on it and sign up for notifications. You come back and forth to watch me? Okay. Right on, Sarah. So somebody came right in and shared this video. It was Nick Brown and Michael Goldsmith. Thank you, both of you guys. Cheers to y'all. Thank you so much for sharing this. Gonna do a big fat dab to start off the bottom of the hour here with the guys. All right. Here we go. Cheers. Wow. We talked about Kyle Klinsky the other night. I talk about him often. Huh. I forgot to mark the article. I thought I put it on Twitter and I said disturbing as fuck. But I don't think I shared the video. Huh, where's this goddamn article at? Wasn't it on CNN? So you guys have no idea what I'm even bringing to you yet. I can't believe the article is gone now. So I'll look it up on Google. Huh. It's crazy. It's crazy how that just disappeared. All right. Fuck. Here we go. Critical race theory. Okay. This is so fucked up. Anti-racism. Oh my god. Okay, this is from the Orlando Sentinel. I'm sitting here reading it and I'm just can't wait to see how big they get. Right on time. Found it. Hey man, you know, if you're gonna put some ad blocking bullshit, I'll go to another website to read the article. How about you go fuck yourselves, Orlando Sentinel? Yeah, fuck your ad blocking bullshit. No, fuck you. Another one with the pop-up won't let me read a news article without disabling my ad blocker. Hey, how about this? How about this? I don't care about your fucking news anymore. How about that? You take your ad blocker pop-up bullshit, okay, and you can suck my pop-up cock in your fucking mouth. All right? Oh, here we go. Here we go. And now notable Slate.com does it too. We need to talk about your ad blocker. Yeah, you need to suck my dick. How about that? So this is the deal. Florida passed, I'm not even going to read an article. I'm just going to tell you what happened. Florida passed a law yesterday. They signed it in, right? You know, Friday night, fucking great, right? So end of the news cycle, so nobody finds out about it. This law says that teachers can no longer teach children that there's systemic racism in the United States. That there's literally built-in racism right into the laws of this fucking country. And teachers are no longer allowed to teach their students that in the state of Florida. Now, these fucking pop-up motherfuckers, they can all suck my dick. That was an important article. News should be free and available for everybody. And if I don't want your stupid fucking advertisers on my goddamn page when I'm reading my news, then so be it. And if you're going to try to tell me that I can't read your precious fucking news article without having to read your stupid fucking ads, well, then I'm not going to be interested in your fucking news anymore. I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to get my news from Jimmy Dore. I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to get my news from Get Your News On with Ron Placone. I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to get my news from Lee Kemp. I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to get my news from Graham Elwood and various other sources, and there's plenty. And you know what? They're not going to shove these fucking stupid advertisements down my throat and penalize me because I use an ad blocker on my goddamn browser. Suck my dick! Orlando Sentinel, suck my dick! You know, Slate, suck my dick! No racism lessons, no multi-gender bathrooms, and no LGBTQ lessons in Tennessee. This is the kind of shit needs to be talked about, Billy, right? I didn't even know that. Look, you guys get your news from wherever the fuck you want. Just whenever you see these stupid ad blocker pop-ups that come up and say, oh, you need to enable ads on our site for us to show us your news, stop using those sites. Fuck blocking the ads. Block the fucking sites. Blacklist those motherfuckers. Who fucking cares? Breaking news! Someone won a tennis match. That's breaking, CNN? Suck my dick. I'm moving on to YouTube. Fuck CNN. That's so stupid. Breaking. Someone won a tennis match. It literally said breaking in all red. Yeah, my sound is still distorting when I raise my voice. Yeah. Yeah, all right. I better not raise my voice. You can use those websites still sometimes. I know a trick. Open them in a private tab. The ads get blocked. Raw Beats, thank you. I'll try that. In an incognito tab, I will try that. Here, let me try it right now. I'm going to try exactly what you said. Okay, Orlando Sentinel, open link in incognito window. Florida board votes. Florida adopted a new rule Thursday to prevent public schools from teaching critical race theory. A push led by Governor Ron DeSantis as a way to prevent history that would denigrate the founding fathers from being taught in state classrooms. Denigrate the founding fathers? What? By teaching kids that they had slaves? Wow. DeSantis, following a national conservative playbook, said he wanted to prevent instructors from teaching kids to hate their country. My fucking God. Dude, the level of control. They want to send me notifications for news. No thanks. Hey, I want to thank Raw Beats, who got me onto this article, for opening it up in an incognito window. It worked, bro. And even though all the ads are popping up, I didn't have to disable my ad blocker to do it. And I do see the ad. So, Raw Beats. Slow motion clap for Raw Beats. You're awesome, bro. That was fucking awesome. All right, so DeSantis, following a national conservative playbook, said he wanted to prevent instructors from teaching kids to hate their country. That's in quotes. But critics of the rule and many of the speakers in the Jacksonville meeting said DeSantis and his GOP backers are trying to prevent schools from addressing racism and its effect on America and from teaching history that doesn't focus only on white people. Well said. It's an effort to whitewash, cover up, and candy coat history, said Ben Frazier, president of the Northside Coalition of Jacksonville. Allow teachers to speak the truth. The governor, speaking via a video connection, told the State Board of Education that he does not want to stop children from learning about slavery or the civil rights movement, only to make sure they don't hear narratives that are not grounded in facts. He wants to prevent, he has said, students from learning a false history where they look back and denigrate the founding fathers, denigrate the American Revolution. Anytime, sometimes it don't work. Some sites have caught on to that trick. Well, thank you, Raw Beats. This is fucking awesome. I'm going to use that. All I got to do is open it up in an incognito window. And I can bring them news and not have to worry about pop-ups and shit. And you know what? I'm not ever going to promote these sites again. I'm never going to give you the sources. And it's not because I don't trust my sources, guys. It's because if they're going to run these pop-up blocking blockers, the ad blocker blocks on their sites, I'm not going to promote them to you and tell you their names. They can suck my dick. All right? In his short address, he offered no instances where Florida teachers had offered inaccurate history lessons, but cited problems in schools in Arizona and New York. So they literally passed a law in Florida. This costs money, right, and time. And they pass a fucking law in Florida addressing something that there was no need for. There was absolutely no instances of. Right? They're literally clamping down on teachers' freedom of. Who the fuck are you to tell a teacher what they can and cannot say in a classroom? That's attacking your freedom of speech. Who the fuck is the state of Florida to tell a teacher what they can and can't say in a classroom if it's non-offensive, if it's non-violent hate speech? And, saying that America was built on slavery isn't hate speech, it's fact speech. So the state of Florida has an issue with facts. And you guys should all have an issue with the state of Florida and Ron DeSantis. And everyone should be talking about this. Everyone should be informing your friends what's going on in the state of Florida, because if it's happening in Florida, it's going to happen everywhere else too. It's eventually going to stifle you. You might not be a teacher. You might not be a teacher in a school, but it'll translate over to social media, and then you won't be able to talk about slavery on your social media one day. Because it never happened. Because Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, and the entire Republican Party said so. Slavery never happened. Because Candace Owens, black woman on YouTube, says that there's no systemic racism in the United States of America because Ben Shapiro, pipsqueak Jewish white guy on YouTube, says there's no systemic racism in America because dumbass fucking college bro Steven Crowder says on YouTube there's no systemic racism in America because fucking Sean Hannity, because fucking The Five, because Tucker Carlson, because Laura Ingraham all claim that there's no, because Judge Janine per whatever the fuck Perino says there's no systemic racism in the United States. That's why these motherfuckers are now passing laws to enhance that narrative. And goddamn, what do you mean audio is bad on 2 channels? What do you mean, Steve? So let's just rewrite history and pretend things never happened, says Josh. Right? I hate Ron, says Heavy P. Is anybody else having audio issues? Are you guys having problems with the audio? Let me know. Can anybody answer me when I ask a question like this? Candace is racist against blacks. Yes, she is. She's racist against blacks. Above 10 decibels? Audio is good. All right, cool. Well, I'm turning it down, but I don't want to turn it down so low that you guys can't hear me. I've turned it way down now. All right, cool. Well, I haven't bought microphones for in here yet. I haven't decided how I'm going to deal with that situation. I know I'm slacking on that. Sounds good. Thanks, Sean. Thank you, guys. Thank you for letting me know. I needed to know. I need to know. Critical race theory, initially a legal framework that examined how racism impacted the country's institutions, is not a topic taught in Florida's public schools, nor was it mentioned explicitly in the initial proposed rule, though DeSantis said it would block its teaching. Let me give you a little anecdotal example of critical race theory. Okay? Donald Trump and his father own condominiums in a high rise in New York. And when people come in and submit applications to live in the high rise, if it's a black or a family of color, they put a special mark on the application. So when all the applications come through, they see that mark and they disregard it. That's just an anecdotal example, something very small that someone like, oh, I don't know, the president of the goddamn United States was guilty of. And then that person literally not only became the president of the United States, but was supported by millions of people who absolutely fucking knew that he had denied black people homes because of the color of their skin. Come on in, bees. I'm just filling up this thing here. Because he is the bees. He's the bees of the trees. He's the bees. We love the bees. I mean, you guys that don't think Donald Trump was a racist, I mean, just go back and look at that one incident. There's so many other ones. You know, I like the Central Park Five as an example for Donald Trump's racism. It really paints him in a horrible light, and it's his own words. You know, it's his own actions. Strawberry cough. Oh, aren't you special, Josh Guy? I lowered sound and it's cool now. It still sounds the same, just quieter, like turning stack down. It's only when you yell though. That's been proven. Well, just as long as you guys can hear me, I'll eventually get a microphone for in here, guys. It's amazing that the idiots at Logitech can't figure out how to put a normal microphone in their camera that costs $100. You know, when a cell phone, or not even that, let's just say the microphone on a pair of headphones is better. You know? On something that costs $30. Why the fuck are they giving you a shit microphone that does that? There's a race section on most applications. Black, white, Hispanic, Pacific Islander, other. Therapy Cat Rascal likes listening to you too. Cool Cat Squad. Yeah, there's a bunch of you guys, cat fans in here. No, I'm not a fan of cats. I don't like them. One of my favorites I've had so far. Oh, good. It's one of your favorites. Good. So let's talk about disinfo a little bit more. We had said it earlier at the beginning of the show that one of the forms of disinformation that I like to mention often is referring to cannabis as the word weed, and that is disinfo. Just simply calling cannabis do I know Lee? Yes, I know Lee. Just calling cannabis the word weed is you spreading disinformation about cannabis. And you might be like, no, that's what they call it. That's the correct term. No, it's not. And I'm going to tell you why. That word was coined a long time ago because it specifically means useless plant. Well, I got to tell you, I used to think there was no such thing as a weed until I had to go out there and cut down a bunch of foxtails. And all foxtails do is reproduce. Nothing eats them, right? The deer doesn't. They don't eat foxtails, and the seeds on the end of the foxtail goes up into the nostrils, the eyes, and the ears, and the paws of animals, and can fucking kill them. These seeds don't back out. They keep drilling like a screw bit with threads on it. It's like they're threaded, but they're barbs. They're barbs. And once the barbs pass, they don't back out until the next one's going, and then it forces it in deeper. It's insidious. So, yes, there really is a weed out there. It's a useless fucking piece of shit. And that, you want to call something a weed? Call foxtails a fucking weed. Don't call my cannabis a weed. And don't call it weed. Have respect for it and stop spreading misinformation about it. And join the fight to bring it to more people. And that's all this is about. It's not about me controlling your narrative, controlling your speak, controlling you. Look, man, I choose to block people in here that refuse to use that terminology, not because I want to hurt them or because I want to ostracize them or anything. It's because I don't want that kind of language in here, and it's ignorance. That's why. And if you could just humor me for an hour or two while you're here, it'll rub off on you. I've had so many people come back in here after watching the show over time, and someone will come in. I'll be doing an interview, and someone will say, hey, ho, Rogan, Rogie, don't rip that up. No, Rogan, no. Give me 1 second. He's got a napkin. Now, where did you get that napkin? Let me give him something to chew on. You want something to chew on, buddy? How about, I want to give him something to rip up. Here. How about, I know what you like, buddy. I know what you like. What do we got? No. What can you tear apart? How about a glove, buddy? Where's your glove at? Shoe. Oh, a shoe. How about a shoe? You want a shoe? You want a shoe? You can rip this apart. You want a shoe? You want a shoe? Oh, you want the shoe? You want the shoe? You want the shoe? Get this shoe. Get it. Get that shoe. Get it. Get the shoe. Get the shoe. Get it. Get that. That's your shoe. There you go. Good boy. Get that shoe. Rip it up. Look at that. What is this? What's that right there? Look at this. Rudy, look. What's that? Shoe. 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 Get that shoe. Let's see if he goes for it. Anslinger lies to Congress for racist reasons. The conservatives will stand strong on cannabis until Congress knocks them over in no time soon. Remember firegrass in Florida? Fuck that shit. That's like these damn chigger plants we have. They're useless. You touch them and get eat up in blisters and scratch. Wow, Josh. Team Rogie, Sean. Cannabis is the way for a MEFA day in making America green. Cannabis is the way. Sorry, is the mega. Okay, Dice. Go Rogue. You know, there needs to be a movie that documents the history of slavery. I'm not talking about Roots. I'm talking about a fucking epic journey. For over 400 years this was going on, right? How many years were they using slaves? Hundreds of years. I don't know how many hundreds, but that entire time span from the very start, it needs to be covered like a story. You know, like they do the Bible. You see the movie, the Ten Commandments or whatever. They need to have a movie like that. And then that movie needs to be shown in every school in the United States of America from start to finish. And it needs to be, Rogie, no, that's a wire. Why are you chewing on the weirdest things today? That is so weird. He is going out of his way to find things that he's never chewed on before. Rogie, I wish I could give you something to chew on, man. That you'd be interested in. Here, how about, let me go over here. Let me see what I got. Look, dude. What a... Oh, here, I got something for you. Look, here's a cookie, and then I got a yak milk chew. Here you go. There's that. I got him a cookie, and then I'm going to give him a yak milk chew. I've got these. God, I was getting so frustrated, man. I was like, I don't know what to do. He will have one of these. He's going to be happy here in a second. Built the second hemp crate house in Virginia. Right on, Josh Dye. That's awesome, brother. Hey, look who's here. What? What do you want? Oh, look at you. You're very good, Joe. Got the hooked up like a tow truck. American slavery lasted 246 years from 1690. Okay, for 246 years. So for 246 years, we had slavery. And that from 1619 until 1865. Yeah, no, we had slavery past 1865, bro. Come on. What are you talking about? I mean, in my opinion, bro, slavery lasts until everyone has equal rights, and we still don't have it. We still have this racism. You know, I know we shouldn't call it, maybe not call it slavery, but maybe we should call it slavery. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think by saying it ended in 1865, man, I'm not buying that shit. I mean, look at what was going on in the United States in the 1950s and the 1960s. You might not want to call that racism, but you could definitely call it, I mean, you might not want to call it slavery, but you could definitely call it racism. I'd call it slavery. I think we should. But, yeah, man. Yeah, there's slavery still going on today. Different kinds. Human trafficking. It ended December. Yeah, slavery ended on December 16th, 1865. I fucking love it. Yeah, maybe for Google it did. Hey, Sarah, welcome back. Segregation went on until 1965. Segregation until 1965. Yeah, but what about systemic racism in our government still going on today, bro? I mean, Donald Trump was refusing applications from people of color at way after 1965, homie. Right? Donald Trump eventually became president of the United States way after 1965, wrote an article in the New York Times saying that 5 innocent guys of color should be put to death for a crime that they were proven not to have committed, that someone else admitted to doing. And he still said those guys should be executed. So, yeah, I feel like it's still going on too. But, okay. My point is this. Us telling teachers that they can't talk about it is a massive violation of the First Amendment of a teacher's right to free speech. You know, it's an affront to the First Amendment. It's an attack on the First Amendment. You know, Florida's law restricting what teachers can and cannot say in the classroom is a direct attack on the First Amendment and on you. Why can't I spell amendment right? Okay. Florida's law restricting what teachers can and cannot say in the classroom is a direct attack on the First Amendment and on you. You guys could go to Twitter right now and retweet that for me. I would really, really, really appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go over to Nays Garden and retweet that from Nays Garden. 2 separate tweets. And if you don't look at this as a direct attack on you because you don't live in the state of Florida or because you're not in the school, you would be severely mistaken. Deep state shill, says Trump, says diverging perspectives. Trump is a deep state shill. They turn slavery from a brute force in your face to in a closet behind a door, raw beats. That those are the dates it was made illegal. Racism will never die, ever, no chance. Humans are too self-absorbed. Right, Billy? Donald Trump should be prosecuted for blatant racial discrimination in housing violation of federal law. This was a long time ago, man. This was like in the early 90s. I'm pretty sure statute of limitations is up on that shit. Hey, Josh. You know what Donald Trump got away with in his lifetime? My mother is just completely blown away by it. You know, we talk about it sometimes, and she's just there's no prosecutor. You know, where's the person to stand up and say, hey, I'm going to prosecute this motherfucker? You know? But hey, man, at least there's pockets of sanity on the internet. I mean, I know me saying that sounds crazy because I'm crazy on here. But some of the things I say make sense, especially when I'm talking about this kind of stuff. And there's other people that understand this as well. And that's a good thing. There's pockets of clarity, you know. Cody Johnston, some more news. You know, you want that perspective from somebody who's not going to sugarcoat anything for you, man. That's what you guys should. I mean, if you like listening to me, you should like listening to him too. And the fact he's fucking hilarious. I wonder what his latest upload is. Maybe we should look. He's just so fun to get high and watch, you know? Get high to. A week ago. Videos. 1 week ago. Elon Musk is not your friend. Some more news. Let's watch that. This will be good. All right. I fucking agree with that. Elon Musk is not your friend. Cody. Look, I'm Cody, everybody. All right. So, this is funny because he's literally talking about Starlink, and I haven't gotten this far into the video yet. And this is Elon Musk ripped me off on Starlink. I paid however much money for my goddamn router. I've been sitting here fucking waiting, and it never came. I don't get an email. I don't get messages, updates, nothing. Fucking douchebags. I need that goddamn internet, you know? Where the fuck's my router at, Elon?
Save the world! In reality, it's being pitched as a solution to internet loss in more rural areas of the country that could expand globally. At the moment, the beta test is limited to mainly the Pacific Northwest. It certainly sounds like an altruistic endeavor into advancing technology.
See my house.
If it didn't cost $500 to set up and a monthly bill of $100, hey, remember when I said that it's being pitched to rural areas?
Cost is definitely a barrier for many, especially in our community. We have a really high unemployment rate during.
You guys, let me tell you something. I was watching this kid last night. He's called Dr. Cushman. Okay, he was not far away from the county where I'm in, and just give you an idea of the lack of money that people have and the way that people are living. Go check out his channel. And he goes around and hangs out with people and parties and shit. He's fucking crazy. That guy's crazy. He walked up to a group of like 7 or 8 guys that were all drinking and hanging out on the street corner. And he told all of them, he's like, I will fucking beat all of you. He's like, don't even try it. I will fuck all of you up. One guy, he went, all these guys were drinking too, man. And they're all just kind of laughing it off and whatever. But dude, who goes up to a group of 7 or 8 guys and does that shit? You know? And one of the guys came after him and he fucking turned around. This was live last night on fucking Facebook, man. I mean, on YouTube. And this shit was all live, man. It's a great video. You should go watch it. You know, go check out his channel. You guys, is the audio fucked up? Is the audio fucked up, guys? I need to know right now. Is the audio fucked up? How does the home video anymore? Nobody's. It's good? Oh, you were the one who was having a problem before, too. Have I been screaming? I don't even know. I mean, are you guys able to hear at least what I'm saying? Or, I mean, is it audio? Hey, Eddie, what's up? So I need to go back and fucking listen to it. All right. Let me pull up the dashboard here, and I will listen to my voice, and I will see what you're talking about. Right. Well, you know, it's like this is such a fucking waste of my time that I have to do this right in the middle of fucking talking, trying to make a point. So let me see what's going on with my fucked up sound. Because Logitech sucks my dick. They can't put a decent microphone in their fucking $100 camera. Yes, I am on my webcam mic. That is exactly right. I'm on my webcam mic. It's a $100 webcam. You'd think it'd have at least a $15 microphone in it, you know? You'd think. Have at least a $15 microphone in it, you know? Well, that does not sound so bad. I mean, I can hear my voice just fine. Have at least a $15 microphone in it, you know? Well, that does not sound so bad. I mean, I can hear my voice just fine. Have at least a $15 microphone in it, you know? Well, that sounds fine over here, guys. Thanks, Eddie. All right, I don't know why. You know, Billy's like, it's only like when you scream. I mean, yeah, but I know when I yell, it distorts. I know that. I mean, I'm just wondering if I'm not yelling the whole time I'm speaking, so you guys should be able to hear what I'm saying, right? Maybe you aren't turned up all the way for the others. I don't know, man. I got my shit turned way the fuck down. They got the stupid audio mixer that does nothing. Microphone, default, there's a microphone, webcam. Oh, there's a noise gate. There's a noise gate. Hold on, guys. It's a noise gate, but it's not a compressor. Default noise removal, huh? Oh, parametric EQ as well. Compressor. Oh shit. There's a fucking compressor. Oh my god. Okay, does this sound better, guys? How's this sound? Hey, does it sound better? With the compressor on. I just found the compressor setting. Does that sound any better? You're legible. I mean, as long as you can hear what I'm saying, you know, that's what's important. It's the message. It's not the quality. I'm not. Can anybody tell me if this compressor is helping right now? I've got a setting here on it. I'm gonna adjust it, but I want to know if it's helped yet. Hello. 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 It's less clear. All right, hold on. I'm going to turn the compressor settings down, 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 down. All right, how's this? It's worse? It says worse. Steve Running says, sounds like I'm in a tunnel. Now it sounds weird. A lot worse. A little distortion, but if you yell, but otherwise no complaints. Everybody's got something different to say, man. It's so confusing. If the mic had an input, it's got an output. I wish I knew where the input was. open. All right, well, just give me a second. I'm not done fucking with it. I want to go to the microphone input. And see, they don't give me. There's a master volume on the mic, and there's no input. Like old Windows, just fucking these engineers, man. Yeah, let's get rid of the microphone input so it'll distort. Manage microphone webcam. Now they just let you disable it. Can you fucking believe it? Wow. I could switch. Fuck him. It's unreal, dude. There's no input on the microphone. It's just fucking output. Who does that? It's a fucking microphone. You know? It needs fucking input and output. So you can limit the amount of fucking distortion going into it, you fucking idiots. God, you fucking idiots. I'm an engineer. Yeah, I'm an engineer. Yeah. I'm an engineer. Yeah, this doesn't even make sense. How loud the frequency should be before compression is applied. All right, well, get me up to there, and let me see what that sounds like. I wish I had real-time fucking monitoring. Fuck. So stupid, dude. Hello? No. Welcome back. The YouTube Circle of Doom is just going around and around. Woot, this worked. I'm not sure what you did, but it stopped spinning. And now you sound like you are in a tunnel. Yeah, I wish I could fucking hear it while I was adjusting it. It would be so nice if I could hear it while it sounds amazing now. It would be so nice if I could hear this while I'm fucking adjusting it. Wow, they're such idiots over there at Windows 10. I just want to punch all of their engineers in their fucking cunt faces. It's getting louder. You sound perfect. Nay, it's perfect. It's persect. All right. It's perfect, you guys say. Scream. It's nice is that they've got this compressor setting. What's stupid is there's no microphone input volume fader. Who fucking does that? It's called gain. You have everything with audio. You've got a gain and you've got the output volume. The gain is how much input you want to allow go to that microphone. You limit that so that you don't distort it. Then you turn up the overall volume and you get a non-distorted audio signal. It's just common audio shit. The fact that they don't have that on Windows 10 anymore proves that they've got some fucking cuck little freckled fucking cunt in there and wants to be an engineer. Yeah, I'm going to make it better. Yeah, no more input volume. Yeah, because I think I know what I'm doing. Yeah, engineering. Yeah, be an engineer. So once again, I'll try to pull it up just so I can fucking hear myself. It's not blowing out as easily. Man, if I could just adjust it in real time so I could fucking hear it, if they would just give me the fucking bandwidth to fucking listen to a video of myself adjusting it. And it's trying to load. You're not breaking now. Before that whole speech would have been blown, but only the engineer words were blowing out. Okay. That helps to know. Because I still might be able to, and now shit just won't fucking work anymore. And I blame completely fucking Windows cunt motherfucking cunts at fucking cunt Windows fucking cunt 10. These fucking cunts at Windows 10. They're all a bunch of dumb cunts at Windows 10. Fucking dumb cunts. Because it's the operating system that's fucked everything up. You know, we used to have an operating system that would fucking work. It was called Windows XP. You know, and everything worked fine. And then they had to fucking stick their dicks in it and put their ball sacks on it and teabag it to fucking death. They're a bunch of fucking idiots. Anyway, I don't even know if I'm live anymore. So I'll refresh the chat since nobody's fucking talking right now and it says there's only 6 people watching. Let me see. 6 of you. You've got a 2013 MacBook Pro and it still runs faster and better than some of the brand new Windows computers. Yeah, do they not force you to update that? I felt like getting high, man. I got 6 fucking viewers. It took me all this time just to get everything working again. And nobody wanted to fucking come back to the show. Rent's paid. Dude, my goddamn, I'm not dropping any frames at all. I don't understand what's going on. I'm not dropping any fucking frames. Oh, my processor's running at 100%. Why? I got my equalizer on. Let me turn the equalizer off. That might help. What else is on? Nothing. I've got nothing else running, man. What is using up all my fucking processor, dude? Holy shit. Is Minicam on? No. Is Minicam on? Oh, hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second. Oh my god. Dude, it's not showing Minicam on my computer. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. It says Minicam. Dude, it says it's running fucking Minicam. That's the problem. Oh my god. Hold on. Hold on, guys. It says it's running Minicam, but Minicam isn't showing running right now. I don't even see fucking Minicam. I don't even see it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's not showing that it's running. Watch, it's going to be on. I don't... Wait. Minicam virtual webcam. It's fucking on. Those motherfuckers. Dude, I am so sorry it was me, you guys. Oh my god. I had fucking Minicam on this whole time. I am so fucking sorry. Oh my god. I feel like such an idiot. That's why I lost all of my... That's why I lost. That's why you guys were having a fucked up. It wasn't dropping frames. It was dropping... My CPU was dropping out. So yeah, it was dropping frames for you. But for me, it was showing broadcasting fine. You guys, my processor's running at 30% now. It was at 100%. What do you think? Is it a good... We got a good... We good? Are we good? We're very good? We're back? Can you guys hear and see me okay now? We should be good. I'm just going to assume that we're okay now. Because my processor says 41%, and my drop frames is at 336. It says that I'm broadcasting to 14 channels. I've got Trovo, YouTube, and Facebook on screen right now. Look at that. On screen right now. Bob Scuba Cook will be on there in a second. So we're good. We're good. Right? Everything is better. The sound, and we fixed the sound. The sound is good. I found that compressor setting, and I have the ability to turn my volume down a little bit if that will help. So let me know if you want me to turn my volume down. We'll play the music in the background and do. I'm going to take a second break, and I'll be right back. And hopefully this will sound okay for you guys.
Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself.
Okay, does that sound okay?
Prepare yourself.
Blind, Jacob, cashing your chips, slip, live, wild, except living hypocrite. Women on radio, all the women in red. Can't fool yourself, it's all in your head. You're a mascot of the next century. Look in the mirror, counter security. I'll leave for you, my eyes burn. My point is no, cause of lovers.
It starts with an L. Oh, shit! Yeah. Anyway, we were talking about Skynet, right?
Non-tourist season, some people don't have any income for a large portion of the year due to seasonal work. There's logging and then there's fishing.
Thank you for sharing.
Residents on the Makala Reservation live. The poverty rate has around 30% according to 2019 Census Bureau figures. That compares to 10.5% nationally.
Yeah, sounds actually not very helpful. But at least if you pay the $500 and can afford the additional $100 a month, you'll then get internet speeds that are below the national average. Okay, so that's less good, equally expensive internet that requires rocket launches to make. Maybe we should, I don't know, just expand internet infrastructure and make it freely available to everyone? You know, like a Star Trek might do, but here on Earth. Maybe someone with a lot of money can help with that. I don't know. But hey, it's still a neat idea that could evolve over time, which is why OneWeb, Virgin, Qualcomm, SoftBank, and Hughes Network Systems are also companies doing the same thing. So Starlink is expensive for the consumer, slower than average, and not all the only of its kind. Why is Elon doing it?
We see this as a way for SpaceX to generate revenue that
I'm so busy learning, I just don't have time for music. I'm always listening to podcasts.
And spaceships, and that we think this is a key stepping stone on the way towards establishing a self-sustaining city on Mars and a base on the moon.
Right. Starlink is, purely speaking, a potential source of revenue so Elon Musk can go to Mars. It is less so revolutionary as it is just another support system for SpaceX. He's just selling cable, which probably isn't a surprise. It's not.
Now, let me just remind you guys, please subscribe to Some More News on YouTube, and his other channel is Some More News. Subscribe to both of those channels, please, and let them know that I sent you.
A surprise that rich people like being rich, I guess. In theory, I could be making a video about the CEO of a pudding company with a similar conclusion.
Anticlimactic
There's
bullshit
yet
with
to
the
be a
whole
pudding
no.
CEO with as much weird celebrity and influence around them as Elon. There's yet to be a pudding CEO hosting Saturday Night Live with an incredible amount of wealth. At least not yet. But you never know what advances might happen in pudding. I don't know.
Man, I heard somebody use the word Titanic the other day, and I realized, I was like, dude, did I never realize that was an actual word, that I always thought it was a name? I'm not sure. That's like, yeah, Titanic's a word, dude. So fucking funny.
Also, there's no pudding CEO who's also openly using his wealth to accumulate resources in order to escape the planet Earth. We really don't talk about that fact enough. That Elon Musk is trying to escape, because he clearly doesn't think the Earth is going to survive. And while he really tries to frame reaching Mars as this gift he is giving to humanity, he'd probably just settle for saving one person at the expense of... there it is. And the products he offers, specifically the proposed solutions to infrastructure like
going to Mars, it says,
are actually kind of half-assed and clearly not his top priority. Like, out of all his investments, he's dumped way into SpaceX than anything else. It's his passion, but rather tunnels filled with personalized death pods, is because he personally just doesn't like being around people. Ignore the efficiency and accessibility of trains, because people are gross. Also, because it doesn't always take you where to go and isn't always on time. Two problems apparently far too insurmountable for our space genius here. But, like, dude clearly just wants to live alone on Mars. Maybe Grimes can come, maybe. And when you realize that about him, that he sees most of humanity as doomed and icky to begin with, you kind of question how helpful he is, you know? Like, how is assuming the Earth is doomed and that we need to ascend to the stars any different than believing in, say, the biblical rapture, an apocalyptic finale where only the most deserving are... Remember when I talked about top-down thinking? It's kind of like when you watch a Michael Bay film. He clearly wanted to have an explosion every 15 minutes.
Are you guys enjoying him? Do you guys think this guy's funny? Because I get such a kick out of him. I think everything he says is hilarious. And, you know, I like his style. I like the way he talks. He's just, even just the way he talks is funny. His timing is awesome. And I think he just knows funny really well. I think he's good at what he does. What do you guys think?
And so starts there, and then goes backward to justify it within a script. Maybe not always an explosion, sometimes it's boobs, or, amazingly, a very drawn-out explanation of how to f*** a teenager. But you get what I'm saying, in that the fundamental story is secondary to the aesthetic result. Well, Musk...
You know, the way he talks reminds me of the guy from Airplane, the first movie, Airplane. Actually, this guy was in all the Airplane movies. He's the tall, bald steward guy. He's like, it just looks like a big Tylenol. So he talks just like him.
is kind of the Michael Bay of technology. He starts where he wants the future to look and works backwards.
Where's my lighter?
He loves the idea of a Star Trek world, but doesn't actually want to do the work that gets us there. He wants to go to Mars, but doesn't want to create or lead a society worthy of that.
I'm doing the super
And his
slow.
excuse is that climate change has made that impossible. But also, even recently, he's talked about how climate change isn't that big a deal.
I'm doing the super
And moving to
slow.
renewables is just a good idea to do sooner rather than later. Like, he says it's not
With my
good,
legs.
but we'll probably be
really
okay,
easy.
and if when it gets bad, it'll be because of the current poor countries
I was doing the super
industrializing.
slow.
Like, I don't think we're currently doomed. If we keep going and if we're complacent, then I think we could. There's some risk of sort of non-linear.
What's with the fucking?
It has to end up with.
What's with the fucking
energy?
with the Forrest Gump hairstyle? Him and Kyle Kalinske with the Forrest Gump hairstyle.
And we should try to get there.
What is that?
It's obvious. I think at the the sort of 400.
Dice Man and Sean Davis, this moment's for y'all. Thank you for sharing, guys.
But if as the world industrializes, about 8 billion people, get to 9 billion people, have a lot more industrial output per person, you could see the at what might be okay at sort of 400 or 500 parts per million of CO2 in the atmosphere might become quite dire at 1,000. Yeah. And the trend is certainly in that direction if we don't do anything about it.
Also, weird moment at the end where he talks about how you don't want to f up the ocean because then the reefs will die. And the host points out that that's already happening. The reefs are dying. But he responds,
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, sure. It's a weird disconnect where climate catastrophe is both imminent, we gotta get out of here, and like also, yeah, sure, like let's just slowly move away from fossil fuels. But they're really fine ultimately, and like I don't know, maybe we shouldn't really take seriously the data analysis and predictions of a guy who said there'd be next to 0 new COVID cases in the U.S. by the end of April 2020, and then had hundreds at his own company. But also, let's say he actually does believe that climate change has doomed or could doom the planet. Has he even tried to do something? Like, really tried or even considered? Because there are things he could be doing to help both environmental and societal problems. Helpful things that shockingly don't involve space. When you think about how technology changes society, you have to think about the biggest inventions and the time in which they existed. Fire, for example, allowed cave folk to warm themselves and find rest at night, allowing our thoughts to evolve in a calmer environment. Also, campfire and s'mores. Great stuff. Perhaps a more relevant example is the internet and what it's done for, everything.
It sounds pretty
in terms
good.
of social justice. Smartphones
guys like
have
the
helped
sound?
more people notice that perhaps cops shouldn't have guns. There's no denying that technology leads to societal change, but not all technology. Some technology is just pointless and evil. Others are just way too ambitious to work. You gotta really hit it just right. Tesla, the inventor, he mattered because what he invented filled a hole we desperately needed to advance. It allowed us to live and work differently, to communicate easier, etc. Cut to now, and we have very specific
Josh
issues
G, take
popping
us
up.
with you.
Climate change being
Hashtag keep it
the
open.
big one, along with wealth inequality, civil rights, more Pop-Tart flavors, and so on. Going to Mars doesn't actually help that. It's like 100 steps away from where we are, and at least right now, probably isn't going to be remembered as a brilliant solution to any of our problems. It is a cynical act by a rich guy who isn't betting on the human race and doesn't super seem to have a grasp on it. Here's Elon misinterpreting and mangling a quote from the late Carl Sagan, his famous pale blue dot quote.
Channeling Carl Sagan. Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you've ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of
So
civilization.
deep.
Every king and peasant, every young
Right.
couple in
It's all
love,
here on this planet.
every mother and father,
Right?
hopeful
Every
child,
grain of sand,
adventurer, and explorer.
every Volkswagen Bug,
every teacher
Every
of morals,
book,
every corrupt politician,
every fucking
every
guitar pick.
superstar, every supreme leader,
Who
every
cares?
saint and sinner in the history of our
Look
species.
at that motherfucker over there with his little
dust
fucking
suspended
his
in a
dick in his
sunbeam.
hand. Like a little
Our
rabbit.
planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. This is not true. This is false. Not. And I think Carl's saying
He's a fucking dumbass. No, we can't migrate to Mars. To Mars. Yes, we can. No, we can't. You fucking idiot. You're a moron. Carl Sagan was way smarter than you will ever be. But that quote was dumb as hell.
I would agree with that. He couldn't even imagine it at that time.
First of all, Mars isn't like a safe place for humanity to migrate to at the
Thank
moment.
you.
We got a few robots up there. We're figuring the place out. Second of all, Carl Sagan was very aware of Mars existing
Cheers,
and
cheers.
could imagine a future where humans tried to set up shop there. Carl Sagan was alive when we, went to the moon. But third of all, and most importantly, Musk didn't finish the quote. Here is that quote. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit, yes. Settle, not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image of our tiny world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known. The quote isn't about how we have nowhere to go. It's about how important and precious this place is. Even a successfully terraformed Mars is dog shit compared to Earth. So the point is, let's make this place good. Make it worth saving. It's just weird he didn't finish the quote, is what I'm saying. I don't know. What was I talking about? Elon Musk thinking climate change means we're doomed. But also, sure, I guess it's mostly fine. But also, what are we to do but leave? Now, I certainly don't want to suck off Bill Don't Give Poors the Vaccine Gates, but he actually wrote a whole book on ways we can fix climate change.
Go Mert, right, with a T. This guy had said that he wanted them to retilt the planet or something. Yeah, whatever. These fucking people, man. You're just like... Wow.
That doesn't include the wealthy bouncing from Earth and recreating the plot of Elysium. He's still a rich weirdo, but at least Gates recognizes that a single dude isn't going to reverse the process so much as a society all pushing toward a singular goal is. And there's other, less flashy tech being developed that has nothing to do with Musk and perhaps should get more attention. Bricks that store energy, as opposed to a futuristic battery or just selling dirt to the poor. Flexible solar panels, self-healing materials that cut down on waste, alternative fuel sources, just feeding cows differently, bladeless wind farms that don't kill birds, as our former president was so concerned about, lab-grown meat, and just pushing for government policy change. There are even ways technology can help with wealth inequality, at least a little bit. But mainly, the internet and automation have shined a light on problems and solutions that even the really rich jerkwads can't ignore. But again, Musk doesn't really care about the incremental or more tedious work, or him not being able to do whatever he wants. Offering a prize to whoever can remove carbon from the atmosphere ignores the simple truth that we have to reduce emissions ourselves, and very quickly. It's top-down, the solution being a futurist fantasy rather than a principled approach. And for that reason, the reality always ends up way off the mark. Or even worse, the approach completely misses the lesson we've yet to learn with the incremental advancements we're skipping over. You know what's also fun?
Top it off.
Dogecoins, am I right? Musk loves those. And all the memes. And I know we weren't going to talk about his tweets, but aside from his no new COVID cases in the U.S. by April 20th banger, and his that guy can't hate people, but who also criticized me is probably a pedophile work of art, he's made tweets that completely f*** the market. A good recent example being his lust for Dogecoin and role in boosting it. Dogecoin, if you don't know, is a cryptocurrency based on a meme and is therefore funny to have an actual sway on the market. It works off something called a proof of work algorithm, which, funny story, requires as much electricity to maintain as a small country. Lots of LOLs from Elon, guy who claims to be concerned about climate change. Way to get those memes. Now, I'm not saying that Musk doesn't care about the environment. So much as maybe he doesn't care about anything? Or rather, his ego and wealth will always overtake anything he might care about. He certainly doesn't care about people much, and I'm willing to bet that he considers himself and his goal of going to Mars and preserving the human race as a noble cause beyond basic human rights and worker safety. But back in his head, I'm guessing he ultimately just fantasizes about how he's going to go to Mars with Leonardo DiCaprio, because he's not actually interested in preserving humanity so much as preserving a certain better group of humanity. And so with that mindset, what does it really matter what he does to the workers of Earth? If climate change is going to overtake us, but also is probably fine actually, what's a few more thousand rocket launches? Rockets that, with a single launch, emit more carbon dioxide into the air than a car would in 2 centuries. What's a little space debris hurled around the planet when his goal, at least in his head, is to save humanity, in theory? Because if he doesn't, well, that would all be a lot of hurting the environment for literally no reason, wouldn't it? Have we considered that? That perhaps Elon's space quest fizzles out and we're just left with a lot of extra trash in the world? Have we considered the toll just the rocket launches alone are taking? After all, he has to launch from somewhere, right? And in order to create SpaceX, Musk created a launch site in the town of Boca Chica, Texas. The residents didn't get much of a say, despite Musk planning to launch thousands of rockets per year. Sure enough, they began getting notes on their doors telling them that their windows might explode every now and then. Residents who lived there long before SpaceX have begun to move away thanks to debris crashing over beaches into wetlands. Did I mention that Boca Chica has a national wildlife refuge where more than 500 species of migratory birds and sea turtles live? SpaceX, in fairness, I guess, would later help out to preserve some of this. But obviously, the best way to help would be to not have these launches there. And it would be very irresponsible to act like SpaceX is doing their best, considering that just back in December, the Federal Aviation Administration flat out denied a rocket launch for SpaceX, citing a tweet from Musk saying the launch had a 1 in 3 chance of complete success, and concerns of how an explosion would affect the surrounding communities. And then SpaceX ignored the FAA and did the launch anyway, and the rocket exploded. Musk then tweeted that the FAA Space Division is bad, and, quote, under those rules, humanity will never get to Mars, and by humanity, he of course means him. He regularly ignores federal regulations meant to protect people because, again, his noble cause is just too damn noble. And by noble, I mainly mean the aristocratic use of the word. I really can't stress enough that when Elon Musk talks about bringing humanity to the stars as a sort of higher cause, he's not actually talking about you. You and I are the people he would sacrifice in order to make that happen. And not like cool space deaths, more like the slowly running out of resources kind of deaths, because Carl Sagan failed to consider Mars. He's no different than any other rich person building a water hoard and underground bunker. A reminder that, statistically speaking, the characters in Mad Max all got there through trust funds. We love the promise he gives us. The Star Trek future, which, another thing I can't stress enough, is just a promise. He's just a guy telling us that he's going to save the world, so long as we give him money and get out of his way. But much like his Vegas tunnel, it's all in a prototype stage and silly. All the articles and books don't say he has saved the
Let
world,
my doggy in.
just that he will, or could, or is trying to. His gigafactories could power the world. SpaceX could colonize Mars. But will he actually do that? He throws out a lot of ideas because it costs him nothing to do that. But at the end of the day, he's just the CEO of an electric car company. And he's not even the first person to do that. He's not the only or first private company working on space, or solar, or batteries. He's not the first space billionaire. And even if SpaceX or Tesla changes the world, he's not actually the guy doing the work. You know, less Tesla.
I was just talking to you 6 minutes ago.
So maybe, just maybe, until we actually see what influence Elon Musk has, perhaps don't do stuff like this.
How do you want to be remembered in history? Alongside Black Brothers, Elon Musk, Stephen Hawking, or as a failed pharmacist expert?
Like, extremely gross. Hey, SNL, very gross stuff. Stop it. Hey,
Mr. Musk, how are you? Congratulations on the promotion. Thank you very much. Those Merlin engines are fantastic. Yeah, good idea for an electric jet.
stop it. Hey, it's embarrassing. Because the answer is no. Elon Musk isn't Iron Man. Because Iron Man, for all his, fashy faults, did pull through and save the world. With the magic rock glove. And his actual inventions that he actually invented. Also, his imaginary. Musk isn't that. He's a guy talking up a big game like Iron Man, but not actually doing those things. And might even be doing the opposite. Like some kind of irony man. That's it. Great idea. Whoa, Rocket, back on! Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to the video on the channel if you like it and want to subscribe to it. We've also got a patreon.com/somemore news and merch store. We've got a podcast called Even More News if you're into those things. And
Even more news.
I have nothing more to add to this part of the video. So I'm gonna just end this sentence right about now-ish.
He always makes me laugh, man. He's great. He's got a video, it says, "Why is Tucker Carlson?" So fucking funny and fucked up. Luis Elizondo, former director, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, full stream. Washington Post Live, 31 minutes. Fucking idiots. Fucking idiots. Fucking UFO bullshit narrative bullshit. Rogan, why you so sweet, man? I took two of my grandmother's knit Afghans that I have. I put them in the washing machine on General Cycle. They are gorgeous. The colors are so vivid. I had no idea how dirty these things had gotten over. I don't know how long it's been since I washed them. They look so beautiful. Oh my God, man. Perhaps Ben Shapiro shouldn't be taken seriously by anyone. That's from a year ago, from some more news. Some 710 water hash now for you. Right on, Max. Gut sake. Right on, Max. Thank you, brother. Enjoy. Enjoy. It's 7:10 right now, as a matter of fact, guys. It's 7:10 right now. Can it smack about that? Can smack about that? Yep, I can smack about that. What you can do, bro? You can smack about what you can do, bro. I know, guys. Yo, dude. Dude's gonna smoke a boat, bro. Check him out. Yo, bro, I know, bro. He's gonna smoke a boat, bro. Check him out. He's got the waterfall in the background, bro. Look, he's readjusted the waterfall, bro. I wonder if anybody noticed. Readjusted waterfall, bro. Yeah, think anybody noticed readjusted waterfall, bro? You think anybody noticed that, bro? You think anybody saw it, bro? Knock the whole fucking table over, bro. He's gonna knock the whole table over, bro. He's knocking the whole table over, bro. Cheers, guys. Thank you for sharing this. What's not happening with Hyperloop? I love Joe Scott. You guys, this is one of my guilty pleasures. You guys, I watch this guy all the time. It's fucking great. You guys might not know that I watch this guy.
What you working on? Oh, nothing. Just, the biggest revolution in transportation technology in the history of mankind. That's it, huh? Come on, we're doing this online. We're taking a mechanical engineering class and a physics class and have to learn some CAD software and stuff. But it's totally worth it because I think this is going to change the world as we know it. Want to see it? Oh, I don't. No, please, show me. I call it Omega Tube. It starts with a Hyperloop, but like a big Hyperloop, like a kilometer wide Hyperloop. A kilometer wide tube. Yeah. With a vacuum. Yeah. And inside that is another tube with a maglev track in it, just like a regular Hyperloop that travels at 500 miles an hour. Okay. But inside that tube is another tube.
Guys,
Hyperloop. Inside a Hyperloop. And inside that tube.
You guys, there's a deer right outside my window right now. I don't have my phone with me. There's literally a deer. Rogie saw him, and she's walking up the hill underneath my solar panels right now. Was right in front of my window, guys, when I started this video, and I didn't even know it. Rogie ran to the window. Where's my fucking phone at, man? Fuck. Man, it just walked outside my Paris. I might be able to see it from the other window though. I got a shot of it. It was just outside my periffs. You saw a deer outside. You like deer, don't you, buddy? I don't know. Anyway, this guy is Joe Scott. He's got 1.15 million subscribers on YouTube. You guys should all be subscribed to this guy's channel.
Is a railgun that shoots it at another 1,500 miles an hour. Okay, you still with me? Okay, and inside of that tube is another tube, and inside of that tube is a Falcon 9 rocket that can go an extra 2,500 miles an hour, and inside of that is a pulse nuclear rocket that can travel at 5,000 extra miles an hour. You can get from New York to LA in like 30 seconds. So, what'd you think?
The deer is back. It's back. It's right here. Came back.
That tree's still up. Oh yeah, I should probably take that down. But the idea, though, oh, it's garbage. Yeah, I'll burn this in the background. The Hyperloop. Few things split a crowd more than this crazy idea of a vacuum tube with a pod traveling faster than a commercial jet. Some people think it's the future, others think it's a literal pipe dream. It's been discussed on and off here and there on this channel for a while now, but there's actually been some recent news about it, so I figured it was worth giving it a little bit more airtime. So just in case you don't know what the Hyperloop is, it's basically a high-speed train traveling through a tube at vacuum pressure. There are many different ways of doing this, as we'll get into here in a second, but the basic idea is that you can get a train to go a whole lot faster if you can just remove all that pesky air.
Here's right outside the window.
Like when you talk about space flight or orbital speed, the speeds at which you're traveling are just out of this world. Yeah, I just did that. But the reason you can go so fast is because
there's another one right here. Holy shit, they're right here. There's a male. That's a male. This one right there. This one right here. I got them both. I got both of them in the same frame here. Oh man, that is awesome. They are both right outside my window, guys. There's two deer, a male and a female. A young male. He's coming over. Oh, they're coming right up to the house. Dude, if you guys will eat those foxtails, that would be great. Let me see if they eat the foxtails. They're looking for stuff to eat. They don't look like they're interested in the foxtails. Wow. Wow, man. They're like 25 feet away from me. That's the male. That is real. Hey, man, I just had two deer walk right by my window, bro. They're still here. This one's right here, man. This one is right here. What's up, Robert? Here, let me go full screen here with this. Can you believe this? What a view. Robert Mulligan. Robert Mulligan. My dog wants to go outside. Of course you do. You just chill out. Those are the deer. There's deer outside. You be nice. I know. You want to go see the deer? You be nice. He's looking right at him. Right up. Oh yeah, they're there. They're right outside my window now. They're walking. They're walking right down this hill. They're. I don't know if you'll be able to see them. They're right. Bong's in the way. Actually, I just realized that. Damn. Bong was right in the way. So they're coming around. Rogie would run straight to the fence, right to where they are, and scare the shit out of them. So, oh, there they are. They're down by the water. I got a little water reservoir. I see one of them. They are down the hill now. They're going towards my grow. I wonder if we can get the grow. Oh, that was fun, huh? Okay, so it doesn't want to come up on this software, which is fine. I'm okay with that.
There's no air to push against. There's just nothing creating any friction for you to work against, which is why when you start going back into the atmosphere, even in that super high atmosphere that's really thin, it's still, you're going fast enough that it creates a plasma around you. The air just bursts into flames as you hit it. So it's kind of like a way of creating space-like conditions here on Earth, which is why it's easy to see why a rocket guy like Elon Musk might be into it. He drew up the white paper for it back in 2012, and he described it as a combination between a Concorde, a railgun, and an air hockey table, which might not be the best comparison because Concordes are out of business, railguns still don't really exist, and air hockey is, air hockey is pretty awesome, actually. But the thing is, Elon drew up this white paper, and he drew some interest in this project, and then he just kind of made it open source and walked away from it. And if I may editorialize for just a second, look, Elon Musk is a very, very polarizing figure. So a lot of people discount Hyperloop right out of hand because anytime somebody talks about Hyperloop, they automatically bring in cannabis. It's practically called Elon Musk's Hyperloop.
Elon Musk's revolutionary transit system, the Hyperloop.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
And the more I hear this, the more it bugs me because Elon Musk isn't really working on this. SpaceX has hosted some competitions and a test track, but for the most part, it's other companies and university groups that are working on it. Elon was too busy at the time with Tesla and SpaceX and the Boring Company and Neuralink, OpenAI and Ad Astra and having...
Robert, you know what would be funny? A meme of Elon Musk smoking cannabis, and then in one frame, and then the other frame, him talking about going to Mars, and then in the meme it would say, Elon on you know, on the marijuanos, on 6 marijuanos. We could colonize Mars. It could just say that underneath them. We could colonize Mars.
android babies and denying COVID and getting COVID and complaining about pronouns. He's a busy guy is what I'm saying. But it's not even completely his idea. It's just sort of an iteration on a vac train, and the idea behind vac trains have been around for a very long time. Yeah, you have to turn the history books all the way back to 1799. Yeah, 1799. That's how long the idea of a vac train has been around. In 1799, a fellow by the name of George Medhurst looked at the steam locomotive, which was brand new at the time, still being developed really, and decided he could do better. He came up with what he called the atmospheric railway, a tube that would have a vacuum placed in front of it and thereby create a differential of pressure sucking the train forward. And while this idea never really took off, there were some working versions that were created out there. In fact, there's one that's still in existence at an airport in Brazil. Medhurst later developed the idea further by publishing a paper titled A New Method of Conveying Letters and Goods with Great Certainty and Rapidity by Air. Yeah, he basically invented the pneumatic tube system that you see at banks and pharmacies and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. Around the turn of the century, Michael Verne, the son of Jules Verne, imagined a ride on the Boston and Liverpool Pneumatic Tubes Company in a short story titled An Express of the Future. In fact, one of the first subways in New York was the Beach Pneumatic Tube Line in 1870, but it was only one car and it only lasted a few years.
Do you guys like the view? You like the setup? We can get all the way over to the wall like that. So cover all the ground like just like that. I think that's good. You guys, are you guys with me? Hello? Anybody? You guys like this? You like the view? Are you guys digging the video? Is anybody still here? It's been 7 minutes since anybody's chatted, guys. Yeah, okay. I've been live for only 2 hours. Really, is that it? 2 hours? And I lost you guys. Has it only been 2 hours? On a weekend, too. Thought we'd just hang out all day. Oh, Karen. Hey, Karen. Karen's here. Hey, Karen. Karen's here. Karen's here. Hell yeah, Karen.
Also, Robert Goddard, one of the early rocket pioneers, wrote a short story for creative writing class in college about a high-speed maglev vac train in a story he called The High-Speed Bet. Boris Weinberg built the first prototype vac train at Tomsk Polytechnic University in 1914, and the idea would float around here and there for most of the 20th century. In the 1970s, the RAND group started pushing for a vac train system that...
Hey, Bob, Scuba Cook, I'd say my grill looks fucking awesome. What do you mean look better? It looks fucking perfect. It's fucking great right now, bitch. I'll be fucking cutting down on my goddamn... No, it doesn't look kind of barren. That's your fucking glass half empty attitude, Bob.
But ultimately it didn't get off the ground. So now I the vac train
Don't
like
put my amazing grow down.
This great idea that's just
Don't
never
be
really...
trying to put that grow down. It's gonna fucking be booming soon enough. You know, enjoy it while it's tiny. Because it's just as fucking awesome. Right now, even when it's tiny, it's awesome.
Delivered on the idea. So by the time Elon wrote the Hyperloop paper in 2012, the idea had been around the block.
Thank you, Karen.
Like your mom. The main innovations he brought to the idea was instead of using a maglev system and a vacuum, he used a near vacuum and what are called air bearings.
Oh my God, it's
funneled the air under
71 degrees outside, guys.
This is the air hockey table part of the description. And that part of the equation has been mostly dropped by the people who are developing this. At this point, most of them are just going with a traditional maglev system. I kind of feel like I should explain what a maglev system is, just in case. It stands for magnetic levitation, and it basically works off the same principle as when you were a kid and you would push one magnet around by repelling it off of another magnet, you know? Except in this case, it uses giant electromagnets in the track and on the train to allow the train to just float above the track, reducing friction down to almost nothing. And the train's pushed forward by alternating repelling and attracting electric fields, so there's not really any moving parts. By the way, you take that idea and roll it up, and you basically have a description of the motor that powers electric cars. There's various versions of maglev, like the linear induction motor and the linear synchronous motor, but the point is they're electrics, they're emission-free, and they let the train go extremely fast. How fast? Up to 375 miles an hour on a superconducting maglev, which I should say 600 kilometers per hour because there's none in the United States. Although they are popular in China, Japan, and Korea. Which,
dude, did you guys know that maglev trains go 375 miles an hour? That just blew my fucking mind. That's why I watch this guy. Dude, 375 miles an hour. I've gone 176 miles an hour on a fucking motorcycle. I can't imagine going 375 miles an hour on a fucking train. Holy shit, man. Dude, I wonder if my friend Cyber's ever been on those. I bet you fucking Hashbean has.
boo, by the way, because that could get from Dallas to Houston in 45 minutes. Boo. But if it goes this fast while still pushing through our atmosphere, just imagine how fast that could go in a vacuum. And that's basically what Hyperloop is. It's a maglev train in a vacuum tube. But if you want to talk celebrity billionaire entrepreneurs that are into Hyperloop, you shouldn't be looking at Elon Musk. You need to be looking at Richard Branson. Branson's company Virgin bought out the early startup Hyperloop One and began pursuing the concept under their new name, Virgin Hyperloop. Because unlike Elon Musk, Virgin has nothing else going on. And Virgin actually has some deals going on right now, including one in India to connect Mumbai to Pune, I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's a 100-mile Hyperloop, and it's being funded by Saudi money.
When a car is getting 2.5 second quarter mile, like the Tesla, what is it like? What is it? What's the crazy? Not 2.5 seconds. That's 0 to 60. When a car is getting 2.5 seconds, 0 to 60, I wonder what the top speed of that vehicle is. Of the fastest car, it's got to be it's got to be close to 200 miles an hour. It's 200 something. It's got to be over 200. Like a rocket car. Rocket cars probably go way fucking faster. Rocket cars probably go like, 1,000 miles an hour, some crazy shit. I wonder what the land speed record is. Okay, Google. What is the land speed, high speed record?
One 1,227.985 kilometers per hour. Here's a summary.
Oh, kilometers.
The current holder of the outright world land speed record is Thrust SSC, driven by Andy Green, a twin
763 miles an hour. Twin turbofan jet powered car.
763.035 miles per hour to 1,227.985.
It's weird. My phone's freaking out. Who knows what it's going to say next? I'm letting flies in my house with the door open. It's so beautiful outside. I want to go outside, man. I'm going to miss you guys. I'm going to go out there and go look at the grow. And I'll see you guys later. You guys take care. Love y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, retweet this on Twitter, and then go on Twitter and retweet all my tweets right now. Those of you that are doing that, thank you so much. It's at CryptoCult420 and at Nays Garden on Twitter. Thanks. I'll see you guys over there. All right. Bye, y'all.
Feel free to read into that however you will. And as of right now, they've got projects being considered all around the world, including in the USA, Canada, Mexico, United Kingdom, and others in India. There's also cargo versions of Hyperloop being considered, which I can imagine Lex Bezos being interested in. But all that being said, they're making some great headways and they're already doing some tests, which
Dr. Bezos.
everything works in the lab. That doesn't mean it's going to work out in the real world, but we'll see if they come up with more concepts, and we'll see what works out in the future. And if they do manage to pull it off, they will finally make possible an idea that's been floating around since 1799, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. But they aren't the only people working on this. Hyperloop Transportation Technologies is based out of Toulouse, France, with a commercial prototype in the UAE and a cargo prototype in the port of Hamburg, Germany. They're looking to not only get people to place...
You guys remember, this is Joe Scott on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to his channel and make sure you click the bell for notifications and go back and watch his old videos. All of his stuff is great. He's great. It's a great channel, man. It's really, really, really good entertainment. You guys will really like him. And let him know that I sent you, please. Joe Scott.
Faster, but our themes as well. These guys incorporate some of Elon's ideas, like integrating solar panels into the tubes, and they use what they call a passive magnet.
He's also got a more personal, like a behind-the-scenes channel as well. Ludicrous Future Podcast. Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter. It's all Answers with Joe. So if you guys want to tweet at him, it's Answers with Joe. If you enjoyed his video, you could tweet at him and let him know that that at CryptoCult420 sent you over there. Joe Scott. So he doesn't have a link to his other channel there, but if he did, I'd promote that as well. But I watch this channel religiously. I mean, I watch it all the time. Not everything that he talks about is stuff that necessarily interests me, but I'm telling you, it's great information. It's put together really well.
Maglev system. It uses a magnet arrangement called the Halbach array to make them stronger. That, combined with some other proprietary...
This video is called What's Happening and Not Happening with Hyperloop Answers with Joe. Okay, a direct link to this video in the chat. And in the chat as well, here is a copy of the title, which you can always just search the title on YouTube to find the video. What's happening, and in parentheses, and not happening, and then outside parentheses, with Hyperloop, then a straight line, then it says Answers with Joe. That's the title. All right, you guys?
Tech they called InductTrack. One of the bigger projects in the works is the Chicago, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh route, and they've done some tests and determined that a Hyperloop would have a net economic positive, but this was their own analysis, so grain of salt. Transpod is one of the more sci-fi looking projects, but they're also way behind the last two. It uses a couple of propulsion methods, including an axial compressor at the front that diverts air out the back, and uses an ultra-high-speed contactless power transmission that they call quantum power. They also have a self-canting mechanism they call jet glide that allows it to easily rotate in tight curves. Like most of the Hyperloop tech, it's a low-pressure tunnel that allows for super fast speeds, up to 1,000 kilometers an hour. They seem to have a good team together, but they also seem to be lagging as they're not doing a full test by 2022-2023. Hard Hyperloop has some big plans. They want to create a 10,000-kilometer European Hyperloop network, and they've already built a fully functional test track with fully functional core Hyperloop systems installed, such as the levitation, propulsion, lane switch.
Can you fucking believe all of this exists? All of this technology is out there, and they're fucking experimenting with it right now. I had no idea. This is fucking crazy.
In the vacuum environment. And there's a few things about their approach that are unique. For one thing, their pods are actually suspended from the tracks above the pod. The other is theirs incorporates lane switching technology, which I have no idea how that works. But this will allow them to branch routes from one line to another, more like a subway system. In fact, they seem to be thinking more about how to integrate their system with traditional infrastructure. They also use a permanent magnet propulsion system, which is more expensive but far more efficient. So yeah, big plans, but at the moment they've only accomplished a low-speed test, and I mean low like grandma on a Sunday slow. But they're working to build a coalition of private and public companies working together to get Hyperloop done in the best way possible, called the Hyperloop Development Program. But as of right now, they've got a long way to go. Xeneros is similar in design to Transpod in that it uses an air compressor partly for propulsion. Their thing seems to be reducing the cost of the track itself by spacing the electromagnets out more and relying the air to do more of the work. This also means that their tubes don't have to be depressurized as much as other tubes, which cuts down on cost, but it's also safer, more like flying in an airplane. But either way, they're a little bit behind the others. They don't even have a test track built yet that I'm aware of. Now, one concern is that each one of these companies would have to have their own infrastructure because they all use different systems of propulsion. It's not like a road or even a train track where literally anything can ride on it and everything's fine. You can't switch from a passive maglev to an active maglev to a linear induction maglev and everything be okay. So Hart, Xeneros, Transpod, and another early player, Hyperpoland, have formed a joint technical committee called JTC20 to create some Hyperloop standards across Europe. In case you haven't noticed, there's a lot going on in Europe with Hyperloop. Yes, lots going on, but also lots of reasons to be skeptical. When it comes to Hyperloop criticism, it's kind of hard to distinguish between how much of it is legit criticism of the technology and how much of it is just Elon Musk hate, which again is ironic because he's not really that involved with this. And a lot of the Nelson ha-has that I've seen directed toward Hyperloop have to do with the rudimentariness of the technology and the demonstrations that have been so far. Although I don't feel like that's really fair because they are just demonstrations and prototypes and they're just testing out specific parts of the technology. I mean, comparing these tests with what Hyperloop could be to me is like comparing the Apple Newton to the iPhone 12, Everything has to start somewhere. But yes, there are major issues to contend with if Hyperloop is ever going to become a legitimate form of transportation. First and foremost is the vacuum tube. Have you ever seen a tank implode? Yeah, have you ever wanted to be shrink wrapped by steel? Yes, nature abhors a vacuum. And if you're inside of that vacuum, nature abhors you. It's difficult to keep a freight tanker at vacuum pressure. Imagine hundreds of miles of tube. And then there's the temperature differentials between day and night that cause expansion and contraction, plus the shock waves of the train going through over and over again. Metal fatigue is definitely a thing. A lot of the criticisms I've heard about the Hyperloop involve the threat of terrorism, that somebody could take it down really easily. I mean, just shooting a bullet at it would completely take out a whole section of it. So that's valid, but I think even beyond that, it's just the structural challenges and wear and tear and maintenance over time. Not only would that become really expensive, but you just have to constantly stay on top of that to prevent some kind of disaster. Plus, keeping a vacuum pressure in such a large tube over a long period of time would take a lot of energy. I think that might actually remove any of the green arguments for Hyperloop. Now, there is an option that could help with that, and this will probably make the whole thing a little bit more confusing, but tunnels. Because along with Elon being brought up whenever Hyperloop is mentioned, I also see the Boring Company being brought up whenever Hyperloop is mentioned, as if the Boring Company was there to create tunnels for Hyperloop, which is not really the point. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never really seen Elon say that one is made for the other. No, the Boring Company was always involved with just shuttling cars around in regular tubes. There's nothing vacuum pressured about them that I've ever seen, so they don't really have anything to do with each other. But that being said, tunnels being bored through solid rock might have more structural stability than a metal or fiberglass tube. So there is an opportunity there. And then there's the issue of speed for human travelers. We're talking about going 500 miles an hour, and trains do derail, or detube, I guess. I mean, look, astronauts in the space shuttle are traveling 17,000 miles an hour, but they're like hundreds of miles away from anything else. Now, of course, every time human transportation is leveled up in speed, there's been arguments that it's not safe because it's so much faster, and all those different transportation methods have been made safe, so maybe this is another example of that. And there are other problems like land rights. I mean, if you think it's easy to take over farmland, then you've never met a rancher who hates the system. So that's going to be a long and costly process, which is one of the reasons why a high-speed train has not taken off more in the United States. Now, many say that Hyperloops could just travel right alongside our existing, highway infrastructure, but the turns on the Hyperloop, because they're going so fast, are going to have to be so wide that's going to be practically impossible. And last, but probably most important, is the argument that when it all comes down to it, the economics just might not be there. Ultimately, you have to sell enough seats to make the whole venture profitable. And when it all comes down to it, these pods just don't carry as many people as, say, a plane or a train. Now, what we might see is cargo hyperloops for manufacturing and shipping hubs. If it's that much faster than airplanes, then that might actually be a feasible option. We could work out all the kinks in the cargo systems before we ever put people on there, and it would definitely increase confidence in potential human passengers in Hyperloop if we've been doing it with cargo for a while. And
that's a good idea.
And that might be kind of cool when you think about it. Those pneumatic tubes that I mentioned earlier about, at the banks and the and stuff, like, that was kind of a thing back in the day. Buildings were built with these massive pneumatic tube systems so that somebody at the top floor could deliver a message down to the people at the bottom floor, the middle floors or whatever. I mean, it was like the internet of its day. Who knows? Maybe that's how we'll move things around in the future. We'll bore tunnels throughout the country and just fling stuff around from one place to another underneath the surface. Fewer trucks on the road, fewer planes in the sky.
All right, you guys take care. I hope you guys.
It's not the worst idea. But I think for a lot of people, when it comes down to it, Hyperloop is just the next big thing. It's become this big